This is a video where we are going to study about the cell, right? So we are going to begin with the cell biology now. Cell, we all know, is the structural and functional unit. Cell is the structural and functional unit of life. This we from the very lower classes we all study cell is a structural and functional unit of life. What is the structure of a cell? Now, it took about 300 years to gather information about the cell. So it is a long way. So many people, they have worked, observed so many things, and after a long span of 300 years we could get about all information of a cell. So it took 300 years to gather the information about the cell. So here we will talk about some of the contributions made by a group of scientists that led to the formulation of cell theory. So here actually we are going to talk about cell theory. Right? So we'll see one by one the different scientists who made different types of observations, and it is a result of all those observations that helped us to know about the cell and that led to the formulation of a cell theory. To begin with how the cell theory was formulated, we'll first talk about Robert Hooke. Right. Robert Hooke, he wrote a book which is called as Micrographia. Micrographia is the book which was written by Robert Hooke, and he published this book in 1665. Right. Robert Hooke, he devised a very crude compound microscope, and under the microscope he observed many organisms. Like he studied insects, he studied sponges, he studied in the birds' feathers, and so on. So his microscope was very crude, and he studied many organisms, and his book Micrographia, it gives a detailed account of all his observations. जो कुछ भी उसने देखा अंडर द माइक्रोस्कोप वो सब कुछ उसने माइक्रोग्राफिया में लिखा. So Micrographia was the publication by Robert Hooke, and it gives a detailed and accurate account of all his observations. And his most famous microscopic examination was the study of thin slice of cork. No, it was a bottle cork, right? So, and this microscopic examination, it led to the discovery of cell. Right. So what Robert Hooke did, he cut a thin slice. उसने एक बहुत thin slice काटा किसका? बॉटल कॉर्क का। बॉटल कॉर्क आप सबने देखी है, प्लांट मटेरियल से बनती है। ही कट अ थिन स्लाइस और उसने उसको ऑब्जर्व किया। व्हाट ही सॉ? ही सॉ दी बॉक्स लाइक कंपार्टमेंट्स। उसको इस तरह बॉक्स की तरह कंपार्टमेंट्स नजर आए इन अ हनी कोम पैटर्न। जैसे बिल्कुल हनी बी का छत्ता होता है उसकी तरह इसको बिल्कुल ये बॉक्स लाइक एम्प्टी कंपार्टमेंट्स, बिल्कुल खाली थे, अंदर कुछ नहीं था, थिक वॉल्ड एम्प्टी कंपार्टमेंट्स उसको नजर आए इन अ कोम लाइक पैटर्न। एंड ही कॉल्ड दीज कंपार्टमेंट्स, उसने इन कंपार्टमेंट्स को सेल कहा। राइट, सो रॉबर्ट हुक ही coined the term cell। हमें जो सेल टर्म दी है वो रॉबर्ट हुक ने दी है। सो द डिस्कवरी ऑफ द सेल, द फॉर्मुलेशन ऑफ द सेल थियरी और all information what we know today about the cell, it started with the work of Robert Hooke. So it was a long span of many years. It took about 300 years to gather all the information, right, about the cell. And the first step in this direction is the work which was done by Robert Hooke, and his book is known as Micrographia. It was published in 1665. He made a very crude microscope and studied many organisms, and whatever he saw, he gave everything in this book. And his very famous observation was the study of a thin slice of the bottle cork that led to the discovery of the cell. So he made a thin slice and he observed it under the microscope, and what he saw was empty compartments, thick walled empty compartments in a honeycomb pattern, and he called these compartments as a cell. This was how the terms cell was discovered. And then this was the first step, and then Anton von Leeuwenhoek. No? We'll talk about many people who have worked in this direction. So Anton von Leeuwenhoek, he devised a compound microscope. He had his own microscope. He devised a compound microscope, and under the microscope, for the first time, he observed living organisms, or living cell rather. Now what he observed was all empty. No, कुछ भी नहीं था उसके अंदर. Anton von Leeuwenhoek ने पहली बार living cells देखे under his crude microscope, and what he saw, he observed bacteria, he observed sperms, he observed protozoans. They're all single cells, right? So his contribution is he observed the living cells under his microscope. And then coming to the next contribution, that is Robert Brown. Robert Brown in 1831, he observed the root cells of orchids. Orchids are plants. He observed the root cells of orchids, और orchid के root cells के अंदर he observed a rounded body. Right, and this rounded body was named as nucleus. So this was how the nucleus was discovered. The Robert Brown, he found a small rounded body inside the cells of the roots of orchids, and this rounded body was named as the nucleus, right? And then Johannes Purkinje, Johannes Purkinje, he saw a semi-fluid substance in the plant cells, right? And he named this semi-fluid substance as protoplasm. See how the things are coming forward to us, right? So he discovered protoplasm. Robert Hooke discovered nucleus. Robert Brown. Robert Hooke discovered the cell for the first time, but those were the dead, empty cells. And Leeuwenhoek for the first time saw the living cells, right? So Johannes Purkinje, his contribution is that he found a semi-fluid substance and he called it as the protoplasm. And then Matthias Schleiden. No? Matthias Schleiden in 1838. He was a German botanist. No? And he observed many plants. And he found that all plants are made up of different kinds of cells. So बहुत सारे plants देखे और उसने देखा कि जो जितने भी plants हैं, they are all made up of different kinds of cells, right? So he was a botanist, so he studied many plants. और उसने देखा कि जितने भी plants हैं, they are all made up of different kinds of cells. And then Theodor Schwann in 1839. No, he was a German zoologist. Right, and so he studied different animal tissues. Right, so he was a zoologist and he studied different animal tissues, and he found that all animal tissues are made up of cells. Fine. And he also found that there is a rounded body in the cell or a nucleus, and then these cells are bounded by a thin membrane, and that thin membrane was called the plasma membrane. Right? So he was the zoologist, so he studied animal tissues, right? And all animal tissues are also made up of cells. And these animal cells, they have a rounded nucleus in the center, and they are bounded by a thin membrane, which was named as the plasma membrane. Now, he studied plants also. Schwann ने plants भी देखे, and based on his study on plants, उसने क्या देखा? No, he found that the cell wall is unique to plants only. That is, the animal cells do not have a cell wall. They are bounded by a thin membrane, which was named as plasma membrane. And when he studied plants also, he found that the plants, they have a cell wall also, and it is unique to the plants. The animal cells, they do not have a cell wall, right? So based on all his study on plants and animals, then he gave a hypothesis. Schwann ने एक hypothesis दी. उसने क्या हाइपोथेसिस दी, क्योंकि उसने एनिमल्स को भी देखा, उसने प्लांट्स को भी स्टडी किया, एंड ही गेव अ हाइपोथेसिस दैट all plants and animals are made up of cells and cell products, right? So Schleiden, he studied many plants. All plants are made up of cells. He studied many different animal tissues, and he found that all are made up of cells. Then he saw that all animal cells, they have a body nucleus. They are bounded by a thin membrane which was named as plasma membrane. Since he studied plants also, and based on his study on plants also, he found that the plants, they have a cell wall also, and this cell wall is unique to them. It was not there in the animal cells. So he put forward a hypothesis. He said that all plants and animals are made up of cells and cell products. No, this was the hypothesis. And then Schleiden and Schwann, both the botanist and the zoologist, Schleiden and Schwann, दोनों ने क्या किया, दोनों ने अपना डेटा कंपेयर किया, जो कुछ उसने देखा, they compared their data, they discussed the Schwann hypothesis, उसकी hypothesis को discuss किया, they discussed the Schwann hypothesis, right? And with their combined view, दोनों का combined view था, and with their combined view, they formulated the cell theory. उन्होंने cell theory दी. What is that cell theory? That is, yes, all plants and animals are made up of cells and cell products. No? So this was how the cell theory was formulated. एक cell theory कब बनती है, no? What are the steps of a cell theory? सबसे पहले observation होती है. You observe so many things in nature. आप बहुत सारी चीज़ें observe करते हैं, right? And then with your repeated observation, no? Repeated observation से क्या होता है, एक चीज़ आप बार बार देखते हैं, उसने plant cells देखे, plants देखे, cells नज़र आए, animals देखे, cells नज़र आए. So repeated observation थी. Repeated observations क्या होती है? That leads to the formation of hypothesis. उससे हम एक hypothesis बनाते हैं. Hypothesis is a prediction, no? And it is based on observations. So you observe certain things, right? And repeatedly you are observing those things again and again and then again and again, and then you give a prediction. That is called hypothesis. But a hypothesis, it becomes a theory only after it is verified. So it needs to be verified, and after the verification it becomes a theory, right? So here if we see that Schleiden and Schwann, they observed many plants, and they observed many animal tissues also, and their repeated observation was that plants and animals, they are made up of cells, and on the basis of the observation the hypothesis was given by Schleiden. Schwann hypothesis जो है वो Schwann ने दी, right? And then that hypothesis was verified because they both sat together, compared their data, discussed the Schwann hypothesis. So in this case the verification was done by Schleiden. So both have made observations in plants and animals, and their observations led to a prediction or a hypothesis which was given in this case by Schwann. Schwann ने hypothesis दिया. Then it was verified by Schleiden in a way, because they both sat together and compared everything. And then after the verification, the theory was made by both Schleiden and Schwann. So दोनों ने मिलकर के फिर क्या दिया? सेल थियरी. राइट. सो दिस आर द स्टेप्स कि एक थियरी कैसे आती है. पहले ऑब्जर्वेशंस होती हैं, ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दोज ऑब्जर्वेशंस हाइपोथेसिस बनती है, देन हाइपोथेसिस जो है वो वेरीफाई होती है, वेरिफिकेशन के बाद थियरी बनती है. तो यहाँ पर भी श्लाइडन ने, श्वान ने जो है और भी बहुत सारे लोगों ने जो है प्लांट सेल्स देखे, एनिमल सेल्स देखे, they kept on observing the same things in plants and animals, and that led to the hypothesis by Schwann. Then it was verified by Schleiden. Yes, what he saw and what he saw, it was all true, and then a theory was made by both of them. But this cell theory does not explain one thing, from where the new cells arise. नए cells कहाँ से आते हैं? So the theory was further modified by Rudolf Virchow in 1855. Right? The cell theory was modified because the cell theory does say that all plants are animals are made up of cells. But how do new cells arise? So he said that the new cells arise from division of pre-existing ones. नए सेल्स जो हैं पुराने जो सेल्स हैं उनकी डिविजन से आते हैं. दैट इज ही कॉल्ड इट omnis cellula e cellula. No, that is new cells come from the division of pre-existing cells. So the cell theory was modified. It was modified, and the modified cell theory says two things. Number one, that all plants and animals are made of cells and cell products. And number two, the new cells come from division of pre-existing cells. Right? So this is my modern cell theory. This is my modern cell theory. This is my cell theory which was given by Schleiden and Schwann, right? And then this cell theory was modified by Virchow. So this is my modern cell theory, right? So this is how the cell theory was formulated. So let's first revise it. That we all know it is the functional and structural unit of life. Your body is made up of cell. Whatever functions do you perform, they are all taking place at the level of cells. सब कुछ cell की level पर होता है. And it took 300 years to gather information. And to begin with the contribution of different scientists that led to the discovery of cell theory, the Robert Hooke, his very important book is Micrographia, in which he has given everything what he observed under his microscope. And his famous observation was when he cut a thin slice of cork, the bottle cork, and he observed it under the microscope, he saw in a honeycomb pattern the empty compartments, he called them as cells. These were all empty, अंदर कुछ नहीं था. Then Anton von Leeuwenhoek, he studied the living cells for the first time. Then Robert Brown, he saw a rounded body in the cells of the roots, which he named as nucleus. Then Purkinje found a semi-fluid substance in the plant cells, and he named it as a protoplasm. Then Schleiden, who observed many plants and found that all plants are made up of cells. Schwann, he studied many animal tissues and he found that they're all made up of cells and they're all bounded by a plasma membrane. He studied plants also and he found that plant they have a cell wall also, which is not present in the animal cells. And based on his observation, then Schwann, he put forward a hypothesis that all plants and animals are made up of cells and cell products. And then the Schleiden and Schwann, they sat together, compared their observations, discussed the hypothesis, and then with their compound view, they formulated a cell theory. Right? This is how cell theory was formulated. Initially, there was observations by a group of people, and then that led to the formulation of hypothesis by Schwann. Then it was verified by Schleiden, and then the together made that hypothesis into a theory. But this does not explain how the new cells come. It was given by Virchow, and so we have a modern cell theory that all plants and animals are made up of cells and cell products, and the new cells, they come from the division of pre-existing one, right? So I hope you must have understood the cell theory.